All right, welcome back, everyone. We are continuing to work on our RV garage plan, and we've got the basic walls and um, concrete floor down. So I think in this episode we're going to add probably some doors and set up the roof. So let's start with the doors actually, and for that we'll go to the main level. And in our architecture tab, we have doors, and we don't need to save right this moment. And I'm going to search for garage, if I can spell it correctly. And let's start with, I might have to make a custom one. We might actually have, yeah, 12 by 14 is what I'm looking for. And we're going to have one at each spot here. And then the other door I want to have a man door that you can just walk into. So let's see if I have exterior. We're going to go with this one for right now. I might change it. And we're going to place that in this bump right here. Okay, and it's as simple as that. We have our doors. Now I'm going to go to the section and check and make sure that they do match the first level and they're not taller or off or anything, and they are. So now the next thing we'll do is work on the roof. So one of my personal rules, I often do attic trusses to maximize space, but in this case we're going to probably do a SIP roof, so having a truss is not really necessary. It could be, but at this moment we're just going to put it off to the side and not utilize it. So to do the roof, we just have a simple command, and we're going to use a 8 1/4 SIP drywall, and actually we need the garage one because there's a difference in the drywall specified. And what I'm going to use is pick lines, but I'm also going to offset 2 feet from every side of the building. It's as simple as this. And then in order to create the slope, we will just select the edges that define it. And I think we're going to start with a 8 to 12. And we hit our check mark and done. Then we go to our 3D again. And there it is. Pretty simple, actually. So let's look at our front. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. So now I'm going to go to back to our section real quick, because actually we're going to have the roof drop down a little bit so it sits right on this wall. So one of the things I'm going to do for the moment, I can go back and add this part later, but for just a moment I'm going to add what would typically be a 2x4 that it sits on. And I'm not really worried about the length. I just want to know how tall it is. So we'll hit done. And we'll bring the roof structure down till it meets that. And then we'll have others here stacking this space in between so it will attach to it better, but I just kind of wanted to start there. So that creates our overall roof structure. Now the next thing I want to do is go back to our section. We're going to edit our walls so that they fit this whole thing. And let's actually do it in the front elevation. So we're going to use edit profile command. And we're going to delete this. And we're just going to pick our lines here and here. And then we're going to join these. Oh, we got to fix that one yet. Now we can see it doesn't quite work the way the walls intersect, so we got to edit that a little bit further. All right. And we'll do the same thing over here. All right, there is that much done. I'm gonna have to fix those because I changed that wall. It doesn't quite make these meet, but I'll go back and fix that later. So now let's do the back. All right, and there's the back of our building. Now what I'm going to do to fix those is just take these walls, see if we can rejoin them. There it is. Same thing here. Oop, wrong wall. Okay, looks pretty good. We do have some weird things happening here still, but that's something else I'll fix later. This is pretty good for now to start. So let's look at, we have our interior section now. We can see we're inside the building looking towards the doors. I also have another section. Here we go. That cuts through our entire building. And we need to fix this right here. There we go. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty simple building. There's not going to be a lot to it beyond this. So I think we'll go ahead and while we're at it, we're going to do some siding in the roof pretty soon. But while we're at it, I want to try some other views real quick. So we're going to create some 3D views using our camera command. And we're going to just kind of stand in the back and look at everything. Now this came in by default. We are seeing it in black and white, so we're going to change that so it looks a little more realistic. And there it is. And there's some things definitely to clean up here in the model, but that's something we'll do a little bit later as well, just to kind of help give it some good, some good visual rendering. And let's set up another view as if we had just walked in the building and we're looking back. Nothing too exciting with this one because it's pretty plain, but I like to kind of have it set up. Alright, and there's our 3D views. I'll have to fix these foundations as well. There we go. Fix this one. Now that all works as well. Again, I'm not sure how to get this fixed yet, but I'll have to do that later. Alright, I can't think of much more else to do on this right now. I think we'll come back in the next episode probably and work on our siding. So, yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Until next time.